And we're back.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So I think I'm just gonna go right into this.
Welcome to the Talk on the Walk podcast.
Talk on the Walk podcast. Now we're on our season 2, but for just to be transparent, there was a large gap between.
Let's just say a month, almost a month and a half hiatus.
So we had a few episodes that are actually interesting to listen to. I think there's going to be somewhere between 5, maybe 6.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be 5 or 6 that are done now. And that'll be complete season 2, 12. That's fine, right? 12, 13, 14 episodes. But this hiatus was because I got COVID. We both, so we were sitting there talking. We had all these things we were talking about. What is this COVID? I haven't seen COVID. Then the whole house seemed to come down with COVID, like legitimate test positive for COVID. So
well, I wanted to come out first, since we were going to talk about this, and say right off the bat that if you've contracted or tested positive and you're ill and sick in the hospital, you know, our thoughts and prayers and whatever else you want to say go out to you. You know, if you're really ill from this, or if you know someone who's died, we're not trying to belittle, diminish, or act like the president. Oh, I've come out through this much stronger than what I've gone. No, fuck all that.
No, right? And I don't think I'm much stronger. I didn't you're right. Not trying to downplay those people have lost their lives. It's not a hoax. It's an actual illness. You can test positive for it. With that being said,
what a joke.
We have 2 experiences, at least. You have your experience and I have my experience of what it's like to get it. And
I can sum mine up super quick. Right?
Go for it.
My daughter came home and had a runny nose and sore throat and said, I'm not feeling very well. And that was about it. She had a little bit of a fever. And then the next day, she said her boyfriend's mom, who she was out with 2 or 3 nights previously, had tested positive for COVID. She was scared and panicky and said, I really should get tested. I have this sore throat and I have a little bit of a fever. Like, I need to get tested. So, take her out, comes up positive.
Got a positive test.
Oh no, my daughter's positive for COVID. Now, I generally feel somewhat crappy, and I usually complain. If you haven't,
that moment, you felt crappy.
But if you haven't noticed, I complain quite a bit.
My back hurts.
Yeah. And my wife said, you better go get tested too. You've been complaining about not feeling well. Maybe a little bit of a sore throat, maybe a fever, but nothing like 105, I'm dying, right?
Yeah.
Slight, maybe 100-degree fever. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll go get tested. That's it. That's my symptoms. I had a fever for a day. A day. To begin on my, as we said, my Friday. It was Thursday morning.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I know
that
that's confusing if people know that you work a night shift. What other people consider the start of your weekend is on a Thursday for you.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Because
so
you work on Sunday.
If I had that fever, if I didn't test positive, could have went back to work like I normally do on a Sunday night, and everything would have been just fine. I would have, even if I didn't test. Now again, not downplaying. I'm tested positive for COVID. I could have been a carrier or a spreader or all of those things. I do wear a mask everywhere I go. So on those lines.
Yeah.
I stayed home in quarantine for the CDC recommended amount of time to protect myself, my family, and co-workers, and the community.
General population. Yeah, the community, the general population.
So I followed the guidelines, did what I was supposed to do, and
how'd that go for you?
Not well.
No, to say the least, not well.
We'll delve into that later.
Okay, that'll be because we got 30 minutes.
The cover story.
Yeah, the general. So my experience, which you've already touched on, was your daughter. So someone in the house spoke of someone they've been in contact with testing positive, and I went, is my runny nose more than a runny nose? I went to CVS. which they'll give you a test if you just kind of like fill out this thing app online or this thing. And I was like, that's the quickest. I don't know what my insurance is going on. I'm still going through this divorce. I have no clue what's happening.
What's covered, what's
but
not
yeah,
covered.
I don't want to rack up bills like when I went in last time saying, hey, I would like to get COVID tested, and they're like, no, we don't have any tests there. That was an $800 visit.
Yeah.
So I was like, the last thing I'm doing is going to the ER and saying, hey, I'm worried, especially when I'm like, I'm not worried, I'm not like coughing.
Yeah.
And then so, you know, my anxiety level
aren't severe, but yeah, something
my anxiety level wasn't like through the roof like on the video that I've already posted about it. And they're like, here, gave me the swab. I stuck it up my own nose, and then I checked the app, and it's like, oh, you tested positive for it. Good luck. Here's what you can't do. Here's what you can do. Make sure you tell your work. And I was like, tell me. So I was already freaking out because I landed a job, and I was like, okay, let's do this for a few. Oh, what? You can't go back to work? Am I going to get fired? And blah, blah, blah. So I had different symptoms than you, and maybe for a different time span. I had a very bad headache and a lot of fatigue.
No, I won't say that fatigue wasn't involved, but
Yeah.
again, my daily routine of, man, I'm feeling tired. How can you tell the difference?
How can you tell? Okay, so then,
really,
and so in my routine of like, I want to get up and try to be active, and although there was this, I still have this like depression, anxiety. I could tell with the headache and with this type of fatigue, it was like I got up, I'm ready to sleep.
It was deeper.
Yeah, it was a different form. So I realized that was probably a symptom. I didn't lose appetite or taste or anything like that. But it definitely took me out of work, and it kind of shifted my perception of things. But within those 14 days, if not earlier, did I feel like I could do something. Now I still feel shortness of breath. Maybe it's because I haven't gone on walks or runs or whatever it may be.
Put on some weight.
Yeah, definitely. When in this course, realized that I've gained 20 pounds, and maybe that's quarantine, or maybe that's just inactivity. Yeah, like good eating is a combination of different factors. But I didn't need a ventilator. I didn't
need a hospital stay.
I did not.
Medication, nothing.
No, I had medication. I didn't take any medication besides early on. I took it for allergies, because that's what I thought I had, like allergies
Claritin or something, right?
Yeah. And that's not to downplay other people's experiences with it.
No.
That's just my personal experience with
And
it.
again,
Right?
I think it's story worthy. It's something worth talking about. And I was semi-reluctant to talk about it because of certain situations with my current employment. Even now, I'm like, don't say the company name.
Yeah.
Don't bitch about this too much. And it's
maybe
like,
later got into the company and all that, because that's a whole segment of, I think, like, it's important that if you ever want to share that. And for me, here's my employee story. So we'll just we just share our COVID that we had. Mine was this. I told the manager, owner, hey, this is what happens. Oh, no big deal. I'll see you in 10 days, I think it was.
It's 10 days.
I'll see you in 10 days. In 10 days, I was text first, like, hey, can you start your shift, or are you ready to do your shift? Can we put you back on the schedule? And I took like an extra day longer than that, so I took 11 days. It was like, on that 12th day, I was like working again, right?
Boom, nothing, like nothing happened.
No fever check when I went in. No fever checks ever at this place in general, but no fever checks. No, give us a you tested negative and you're having no like data to be shown. Just if you feel up to it,
we're taking your word.
Come back into work.
Because you only had to provide them documentation of a positive test, right?
Yes. I don't even think I had to do that.
Let's just say, for simple math, September 10th, I know it wasn't that date, but you said it tested positive. Okay, on the 20th, we'll call you and come back.
For simple math, So
10 days later.
Yeah, those weren't the exact days, but yes. So it was like something like that, and then I was worried, like, oh, you tested positive, you can't work here anymore, or oh, we're gonna have to shut down because of you, we're really mad at you. It was nothing like that, nothing big. And I know this is being recorded after the whole stint, after this whole episode, like this whole catastrophe happened. So I've been working for like 2 weeks at least, you know, like willy-nilly. So that's my experience with how it affected my work. I was out of work for that time, stressed out. I was sick for that time. That stressed me out. But now everything is seeming to go back.
Back to normal.
Yeah, and when we talk about, I thought about this morning. My 3 best educated guesses, because there's no way to like lock it down. My 3 best educated guesses on where it came from, because the house, in my opinion, has been very mindful. Masks, gloves,
including the quarantine, the cleaning.
Quarantine, the cleaning, the sanitizer, hand sanitizer, little bottles of it. Don't go out too much. Don't do too much. Okay.
Okay. Even to expand on this, my daughter and I tested positive. My wife and my son tested negative. My wife tested negative twice. So,
and yet,
I'm not contagious.
What about
my daughter's
how
not
sick
contagious.
it seemed that she got?
Yeah, I don't.
That was that was quite.
She ended up getting a case of bronchitis, I suppose, in the middle of all of this nastiness.
Oh.
And it was like, oh shit, she's got COVID too. Go get tested. No, just kind of a respiratory issue that had nothing to do with COVID.
Nothing to do with it.
Weird, right?
It was a weird experience. So my best 3 educated guesses on where something like this, how it penetrated this stronghold. Okay.
I got 3 guesses too.
1 is my place of employment.
Yep.
That's my place of employment. It would go down to likelihood that it was contracted. So many people work there, but there's also so many customers willy-nilly coming in. At the school system, somehow through one of the students that come back, but they tested negative. I don't know if they did test positive, but through the school system, it was contracted. It came into the house because there's people that come into the house that have been at the school.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my wife included. Yeah, but she's negative. So again, how do you reconcile that? But yeah.
And then the third one is somewhere your daughter got in contact with it and brought it in, whether it's through her boyfriend or her boyfriend's parents or the mall or some.
Yeah.
So those are my best 3 educated guesses.
Well, even the 4th educated guess. I could have brought it home from work.
That's the thing. That there's
just as easily.
You could have, but I think those 3.
I mean, the idea
more likely to have happened. One of those 3.
The idea behind contact tracing would be that it came in through my daughter. Does it matter?
No.
No. None of that matters. It's like I brought up, in talks outside of this, we're going to blame China. Okay, now what? Hold them accountable? Fine them? What are you going to do?
Are they going to pay the bills that I like, or that pay me for my time off? Like, what are they really going to do? Yeah. The blame game is almost trivial.
Yeah, it's unimportant.
For sure.
And again, like I said, my family came out of this relatively unscathed, at least health-wise.
Health-wise.
I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
There's so much to get into.
Oh, no, definitely. Because the ins and outs of the financial are now mentally. So we're talking about health-wise, physical health-wise, mental health-wise. It was scary to have it personal, because I can't speak for it. It was scary to be like, I have fucking COVID.
Yeah.
Like, and I had people contacting me. Heard you, and that's a weird thing. The gossip, just like I had.
Are you okay?
Yeah, so I mean, I might have told my dad, right? But then I have like my aunts, like, I heard you had COVID. People texting me out of the freaking woodwork. Is that what it's called?
Out of the blue.
Yeah, out of the blue. Like, we're worried about you. And I'm like, oh, one, thank you. Like for people who felt like reaching out and saying, hey, we heard you had a health condition. But at the same time, jeez, it shows who gossips it. You tell
how it gets around.
It shows.
It spreads like COVID. Wait a minute.
A little pun there. Like it went to go show you that there's gossipers and things get through, and maybe that's because no one has anything else to talk about. But why do you have to talk about my health?
Yeah, true.
Why do you have to talk whatever in a HIPAA? Whatever.
Yeah. But again, it also shows that your family cares and friends and family care. So I guess you look at it both sides of the coin there.
And for me, and I did look at it that way. The way that socially I looked at it was, am I a leper? Am I gonna be this guy who's like, that's what I thought when I was going back to work. And when I did go back to work, I got a lot of, how you feeling?
Yeah.
But not like the typical like, hey, how you doing today? Oh, I'm fine. Not like that typical. It was like, hey, how you feeling? No, but like, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
Like, and it's like,
when I returned to work, I got how was your vacation? This was not a planned, a great fun time. I didn't go to freaking Niagara Falls or the Grand Canyon. It wasn't a vacation.
It was no vacation.
And I wanted to grab these people and shake them.
Like, that's downplaying it in a sense, right? People saying, how was your vacation where you got COVID and didn't get to come to work?
I just responded and kind of said, oh, I'm fine.
Oh, I'm fine. Yeah. Oh, I'm fine. Yeah,
everything's fine.
Everything's fine. So that's what kept us from, and it didn't have to keep us from posting or from making these, but there was just a lot of things that were,
the routine was interrupted.
Yeah, it was interrupted. And so as I've posted these things, it did give us a time to take a step back, realize that we want to make these 30 minutes and cut it, which is good, kind of reamp. I take in more pictures and do other things with these. So
I don't know, I thought of a title, and it's just this title of this episode's "Oh shit, we got COVID." It right there.
Oh shit, we've got COVID, dude.
That's it, man.
Oh shit, we've got COVID. I try to make it one word, like dogs, and I forget what the other one was, but so I'll put COVID.
It's nuts. But yeah, so
part one.
Again, the entire, to me, to wrap this up in one quick overview of everything, it has changed my perspective on several things pretty drastically.
Oh, okay.
But I'm still pretty negative.
You're pretty negative.
I'm pretty bitter about certain things.
Okay.
But also, it's really kind of put money into a even different perspective for me. Of how, life is only about money. I'm working just to make money, and then a lot of things happen where it's like, money. Kind of weird.
And the fact that money's the root of all evil has been more exposed to you?
It's almost like it's not as important as I thought it was. But it is.
It is.
It has this double-edged sword, right? Again, I moved here to Tennessee, and I've been doing financially the best I've ever done for the past 3 years of my life.
Okay.
Because of that, I was able to almost absorb this hit. And I didn't want to take, nobody wants to take a financial hit, but it's almost like, I did myself real good so I could sit and take it from the man.
Yeah.
But again, that's going to be detailed.
We'll detail that on next. So I understand what you
teaser.
So
right?
a little teaser. So that's funny that you say that, because for me, what it put into perspective, and this is not to downplay things, but if everybody had the same symptoms
and feeling
and the way that it was, if it went through my body the same that it went through everybody's body, I'm a bit upset because of how the record book being written about me, or this year being detailed about me. Everything I lost this year, and the fear and the panic
was because of that.
There's things that, as you said, you can't put the toothpaste back into the tube or whatever, right? Things have happened that there is no backtracking because of the panic and the fear and all this stuff. And if this is why, it almost is like, how the fuck?
But again,
was I duped? I feel duped.
But again, you see, like I said, we're not downplaying, but the people that have died, the people that have gotten seriously ill and, lost everything to this.
Their businesses, even if they didn't lose, they've never contracted it, but their business had to shut down and it won't be reopened, okay? That's horrible.
Was it worth
But there are definitely deaths.
And again,
a lot of deaths, right?
Personally. And it's hard to, globalize something that is that personal. Was it worth it? Was it worth it to shut down the economy? Was it worth it to have people isolated, feeling alone, and mental health? We're going back to that, right?
Was the mental health hit that everyone suffered.
Worth the small bit of feeling ill.
Well,
I've had
here's
worse
what pisses
fevers.
me off. Like it does. I've definitely been sick worse. But that's again not to downplay it. Like I personally have been sick worse. I've had bronchitis. I've had like things that kept me out of school and work. And I thought I was gonna die. I was seeing hallucinations because I had such high fevers. I've had that before.
Yeah,
this was not that.
I had mono when I was a kid. The worst sick I've ever been. Not even a fraction of that.
Not even a fraction.
No. And again, it's personal. Don't want to downplay. Again, hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to people who have been affected, severely.
And let's touch on that real quick. So if you have been affected, what I've learned through this is there's definitely things. One that comes off is Pandemic of Love, and there's other little sites and help things that if you're struggling with the money aspect of it, there's those ways that you can maybe get your bills paid for, or some kind of help, even if the stimulus is run out or you don't qualify for unemployment or something like that maybe.
And we've even mentioned the mental health part. It's again, not that we've been sponsored or anything, but the Better Help app. Yeah, there's an app that can help you with that through mental problems, Not that, again, we're soliciting or pushing advice for anybody.
No, but if you need it, go find it. Yeah. And the reason we know about it is because we needed it. We've looked into it. Yeah. We felt the need to discover for ourselves financially stable or successful things. So that we can work on our mental health, or we could work on our bills or whatever it was. So that's why we know, because we did our due diligence and found it out. Now, I don't believe the line, "With everything you lost this year, will come back stronger."
No.
I can't believe that, because there's things that I've lost this year that are gone.
Yeah.
And just so when people talk about
can never be repaired.
the death of something, that maybe they've lost a loved one. No, I didn't lose a loved one, but I lost stuff I care about greatly. Okay.
Oh, of course.
And there's always going to be this little asterisk that it happened this year.
And because
it happened because of fears and panics based off of things. And I'm sure that'll be a public record about March having to do with COVID, okay, in my life. That will always be something.
Be in the history book.
So for that to be a factor, and for it to be like, wait, you thought this was a huge, crazy beast. In my mind, I did, and maybe for someone it actually was. And then I opened the door and it was a small little puppy dog, that kind of like, and I went, gosh, I've burned down this house because I thought there was a monster in this closet, So I won't ever get back what was lost this year. And it bothers me, my mental health, and it frustrates me knowing for what, like why couldn't there have been more transparency? Why downplay it if that's what was going on to prevent panic, when it did the opposite and again, created panic, and then people lost things they will never get back.
And again, playing devil's advocate, would it have made a different impact on you if you had to be hospitalized? Would you be like, God, I was right. God, I was right. Look how bad this is. Would have that changed your perspective?
I think that's the blame game that I'm not trying to play. Like, does it matter? Maybe it does. Like,
because if you were, let's say you were hospitalized, you literally had to go to the hospital because you were that sick. You'd be like, I'm justified. Like, everything that went to shit this year is justified because look how sick I am.
Do I want that? That justification? Yeah. No.
It wouldn't be worth it, right?
It still wouldn't get back what I've lost. And I'd be sicker, right? I would still be like, oh my gosh, yeah, so it's everything I feared. It was this huge monster. I almost died. I lost a lung. I'll never be the same. Oh, but I also lost everything that I lost. Yeah. So, no.
But at least I was right.
I guess I took the, no.
It's not even.
It's like that, yeah, like I was right, and still I feel like I lost. Like, how does that, like I won, but feel like I lost somehow.
What was that saying that we heard the other?
This was a good one. So I think this is, maybe you have your sign off and I'll try to find. So don't hold on to a mistake just because it took you a long time to make it.
That's brilliant, right?
Right.
And we heard that off a freaking knife making show.
Yes.
Right?
Well, what's it?
Forge and Fire.
So So we watched that. So,
Again, we're not getting promoted by them, but
no one's
great show, right?
It was a good show, but yeah, don't hold on to a mistake because it took you a long time to make it.
Yeah.
There's some words. So you can do your sign off. Well, this will be part 1 of
probably
return.
a 10-part series.
At least 2, if not 5.
Yeah, crazy. All right, so yeah, definitely if you want to go far, go alone. But if you want to wait.
No, see, it's
been too long.
It's been too long.
If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
There you go. Cock of the Walk podcast.
Thanks for listening.
Hey, this is Brendan from Cock of the Walk podcast. If you like what you heard, you can support us just by sharing the link. That's the most important thing, is to get the word out. If you want to go beyond that, you can do donations. You can become a member and subscribe, or you can even buy some merch. You can find us at www.halfmoonday.com. We are a Half Moon Day LLC production. You can also reach us directly with comments, questions, or topics you want us to discuss at cockofthewalkpodcast@gmail.com or cockofthewalkpodcast@aol.com. We also have a Facebook, and you can find us on YouTube under the Half Moon Day page. On behalf of myself and Shaun, thank you very much for tuning in. We know there's a lot of podcasts out there, and we appreciate your time. Have a good day.